What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and today we've got the round 14 review, round 14 score. So scored a 2-2-3-8, which pretty happy with that, obviously. Round 14 rank of 77 and up to the season rank of 407. So bear with me through this video. Hay fever's killing me today, so I don't know if you guys get hay fever, but absolutely destroying me today. I have some really bad days and other days are better, but yeah, today's one of the really bad days, so I'm very blocked up and stuff, so it might sound a bit nasally, but let's get into the video nonetheless. So about 800 off rank 1, 500 off the top 10, I think, something like that, which sounds pretty crazy, but yeah, it's about time we had a good week nonetheless. I did do a live stream last night, so if anyone wants some more long form of content, feel free to go watch that. So we'll start off with Sinclair 109. Had a great first half. Not sure what happened in the second half to him. But still obviously take 109. Holmes 155, unbelievable. What a jet he's been. I think he's got the easiest run for midfielders to go home. So yeah, we're very happy with that. But Brizzy this week will be a bit tougher, but we'll see how he goes. Connor Rosie, another great game from him. Wangani Malera, yeah, I'm really happy I brought him in. So I brought him in last week for Matt Roberts. Hopefully Roberts doesn't hurt us too much. Zorko 123. Yep, good game from Zorko. So basically the whole backline played really well, and I think that's always going to help you. I had Dale on as well. So yeah, very good scores from the backline. Moving on to the midfield. I mean, Bont, we'll talk about Bont. Yeah, just that tag game was really rough. I think he goes nuts this week, and I'm going to put the captain on him. But yeah, it hurts having a 66 for a guy you paid 630 or whatever it was, 1,000 for. I actually also brought up a little notepad here. So these are kind of my notes for next year to remember. And the first thing that kind of came up with is that the Guns and Rookies days are over because of the sub rule. I don't think you could ever make a team with just Guns and Rookies anymore. You almost always are going to need some mid prices in there, and you have to play the value game, because currently that rookie game that you want to play is just not viable. That's because they're all being the sub or getting subbed and completely cooking their cash gen. And then I also said don't pay 600k plus for anyone unless it's a starting pick. I think with exceptions, maybe Gorn and Cherry. I think I paid like 620 for Cherry, and that was like best value pick ever. So let's go on Cherry. We'll just say that. And then matchups also don't really matter unless it's a Ruck matchup. And obviously by the title, I'm going to be taking a very big punt on these Ruck matchups and really backing my gut here. And I've been pretty consistent with the Ruck matchups in predicting when Gorn and Cherry are going to drop and when they're going to go up. I think Gorn's due for a couple of bad games. I don't expect him to go like sub 60 or anything like crazy, but just a couple of sub tons would really, really help me. So we're going to talk about it in a sec. Anyway, moving on to Bont. Yeah, shouldn't have paid that much for him, and it's forced me to trade Max Gorn just to get some cash gen, because yeah, I should have gone the value option, but is what it is. Brayshaw really good, Cherry good, Sarong great, Neil okay. You just want a bit more for Neil, but whatever. I think he got O'Halloran in the second half. That's probably what slowed him down a bit. And then Ashcroft down game as well, so that kind of hurt a bit. She's a 115. Johnson 84, pretty nice, really nice actually. Gorn and Cherry solid, so Captain Gorn. Captained him. I started him, and it's a little bit of a sad trade out, to be honest, because it's not sad, but I was a big advocate for MAXY in the preseason, and I did say quite confidently he'd average 130, and people were full laughing at me like, you're an idiot. And you know, with 14 rounds in, he actually is averaging 130. So it's sad because I have backed him pretty hard, but I do plan on bringing him back. And I'm going to talk about my plan in a minute. we'll quickly wrap up this team review. So yeah, the rucks were both solid. Cherry, terrible fourth quarter, and then Gawn, great fourth quarter, which saved his score. So yeah, we're happy with that captaincy. Max Holmes would have been nice as a VC, but we'll take it. Baz, solid, didn't play much of the fourth. Same with Hall Francis, didn't play much of the fourth at all, so really happy I held him. Daniel, 80, not great. Pedler, 35, terrible. Track as well, terrible, got tagged all game. Daywick, shocking, and DeConing, pretty nice as a flex. And honestly, I wouldn't be trading Max Gawn if I didn't have DeConing, because I just don't trust any of the other rucks. So I think I am lucky in that respect. So the first thing, so we're going to trade Gawn, and then I think we had Clay Hall and Pedler out. So maximising cash, I think Clay Hall and Pedler are probably dead. If Hall's named, then we'll look at maybe, we'll go Huswaite. Huswaite's dead for sure. I think we can do this. I just can't remember exactly the positions. So obviously you need to bring in that McCarthy, whether it's this week, next week, the week after, whatever you want. I'm going to bring him in this week. I know he's got the bye. And then I'm going to grab 2 premiums. So we want 2 forward premiums. And to be honest, there's not much available. You look at those top 6 forwards and it's not great. But I'm pretty keen on Jack McRae. They have the second easiest run home for inside mids, St Kilda. So that's a really positive sign. And I know his 3-round average isn't great, but I need to get someone like him over Pedler. I don't want Pedler coming out of these buys. There is a word where you could wait a week on McRae. Where is he? Jack McRae. Because his break-even is 124. It's not as high as I thought it was. I think you can get him now. And I'm grabbing Sam Darcy. So yeah, St Kilda, the second easiest run home for inside mids. Really nice, especially that North Richmond Essendon trio in the end there. That's great. I think you're going to need him. And then yeah, I'm getting Sam Darcy because I just think he's an absolute freak. I want to own him as well. I think it's a 107 average without the injury game. And relatively easy run, Richmond this week. So yeah, these are the trades I'm going to do. It gives me 32k in the bank, which, look, it's not great. Now, the reason I plan on trading Gawn out, and just to get this straight, any other year I wouldn't do this. Absolutely any other year I wouldn't do this. It's just because we're so strapped for cash at the moment that I feel like I'm forced to do something. And Gawn's the clear target. So he's got the bye this week, obviously. Second hardest run home, and the next 4 are all red matchups. Now, I did a price projector for Gawn. And let's just have a quick look at how much, because I want to get him back. Like, ideally, I've got 4 trades left. I want to get him back as a 23rd, swing DeConing to flex, and then run those 3 rucks for the rest of the season. Is that realistic? Probably not. So I think in the end, I might be sidewaysing DeConing to Gawn, because I want him for these last 5 games. I want him for St Kilda, West Coast Bulldogs, Hawthorn and Collingwood. So the plan is still to get him back, and I need no injuries, which is obviously touch wood. But yeah, the plan is to get him back on this round 20 game. And let's go through some price projections. Where is he? Season stats, is this where you go? Can't remember. Yeah, okay. So let's say he goes at 120. If he goes at 120, I have to pay 630k for him, which means more than likely I'm going to need to do 2 trades to get him in for DeConing. But if he goes at 110, he gets down to 597. And I think that's a realistic sideways with my 30k in the bank. So DeConing needs to hover around the 570, and I get him. So 110 average, I think that's pretty realistic with his last game against Wits, 88. Adelaide, he went pretty well, but I think O'Brien's been really tough this year, and Cherry obviously shut him right down. So let's just say he goes those same scores, which is what he did this year, and we're going to see a real plummet. Okay, so 88. Let's just say he goes big against Adelaide, 120, and a 67. Now all of a sudden, what kind of scores are we looking at? Prices. Now all of a sudden, round 20, we're looking at a 550k max Gawn. Now, I obviously don't expect him to go 67 again. This is probably going to be more like a 97 and a 98, but I do think he can go sub-ton. That gives me him for 585 in round 20. So ideally, we flick McCarthy cashed up in 5 weeks, hopefully, and Zach Johnson, and get Max Gawn at the flex. And that sounds crazy. It's probably going to mean they need to get to 300k each, roughly. I think it's doable though. And then if I can't do that, well then I'll just simply run McCarthy at the 23rd for the rest of the season and flick DeConing back to Gawn for those last few weeks. Obviously this is barring no injuries, right? But then the full team looks something like this. Nick Dacos on field. So Sheasel at M8, Darcy at F6, and we're full primo. Because I really don't have many other options. And what we can do with this, if we can't get Gawn, as a 23rd, we can just every week loop Johnson and McCarthy while they play. If there's another mid-rookie that pops up, like Clay Hall starts playing, then we can loop that too. So yeah, that's my plans. It makes sense in my head, but I know people are saying it's risky. Obviously, if Gawn does go that 130 average, which he has been doing, then I'm screwed. Season over. Season over ranking-wise, season over league-wise, but this is the risk I want to take. Back my gut here. I know most people would think it's crazy, because it is crazy, but you got to risk it for the biscuit sometimes. In terms of captaincy options this week, it's an interesting one. I think I'm going to go with Cherry against DeConing, and I'm going to go Bont against Richmond on that Sunday Arvo at Marvel. I think he'll go absolutely bananas. So yeah, back the king in. Anyway guys, that's it for the video. Hope everyone had a good round, and I'll see you in the next one.